Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What would you say if tomorrow, or maybe in the next week, the United States will say this? I'm talking about the guys in charge of our lives. Well, some American citizens or American nationals or American speaking people lost their lives, were killed by the Sudanese army in Sudan. And we have to protect our human, assets, and we have to intervene and bomb the shit out of Sudan in order to defend our Americans there. I think you would be all for it, wouldn't you? But wouldn't that be very, very strange, because that's what the Russians were talking about with their Russian-speaking people in Ukraine for about 8 years? From 2014 until 2022, they were saying, wait a minute, the Ukrainian military is killing the Russian-speaking population in Ukraine. So why would we be entitled to go and defend our citizens, for good reason, but the Russians wouldn't? The answer is because we're good and the Russians are bad. So let me give you a little preview of what's going to happen. These are small steps. First, if you remember, the Americans sent some special forces on a foreign country, sovereign, independent, like Ukraine. And they evacuated their staff, embassy staff members. Great. Then what they do next? They say, well, we got about, I don't know, like 14,000 Americans over there or something like that. So we're going to bring the Navy to help them evacuate. Okay. Wait. We're going to go to a port of Sudan. That's where we're going to go. Wait, isn't that independent country, sovereign country? It's okay, we go over there. Oh, we got special troops over there. They're going to help with the transfer of troops. Hey, we find out some Americans died in Sudan. What do you think will happen? I covered that in an article earlier today where Kirby, a weasel, came and said, well, we keep them over there for humanitarian reasons and for whatever might come up. You know what that means? This. And I'm suspecting, unfortunately, and I'm not rooting for that. I hope that I hope it stops. More Americans will be killed. That they tell us they got killed or they really got killed. It doesn't really matter. They're going to give us, the mass media, the true mass media, the free mass media, will tell us, hey, more Americans died. What should we do? You know what we will do? We will do like we always did. Defended our interests over there. And we're going to go and intervene militarily in a sovereign, independent country because they killed Americans. But hey, the Russians cannot do that in Ukraine. No. They cannot. But we can. Why? Because we're good. It's not the same thing, Emil. It's not the same thing. Oh, really? Let's see what this article has to say here. So this Weasel article obviously comes from a Weasel media outlet, CBS News, and it's from today, April 26, 2023. Second American dies in Sudan amid fighting. U.S. confirms. Now, did he die fighting or he died like a, poor guy got caught in between the infighting in Sudan? Well, regardless, second American died, and we're going to have a big problem. And it's going to happen what I said will happen. I'm giving you 99.9%. And that would happen within 2 weeks. Within. That's my prediction, okay? Washington, a second American citizen has died in Sudan amid clashes between two rival generals. And I'm quoting, we extend our deepest condolences to the family, Kirby said in a call with reporters. And I'm quoting, we continue to make clear at the highest level of our government, the leadership of both the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces, that they are responsible for ensuring the protection of civilians and non-combatants, including people from third countries and humanitarian staff that are working to save lives. Oh, this is for people with weak hearts. Anyway, we have to work to save lives. Shut the... Kirby said the person died Tuesday but did not confirm their identity. However, the Sudanese American Physicians Association said on Tuesday that Bushra Ibn Nauf, Suleiman, a doctor who practiced medicine in the US for a number of years before returning to Sudan, had been killed earlier in the day. Well, the group said he had been on the front lines providing emergency medical aid during the conflict and was killed outside his home while escorting his father to a medical appointment. Okay, no comment here. Suleiman was a professor of Kirby said a 72-hour ceasefire brokered by the US had begun late Monday and it didn't work out. And we said this many times, but the violence is simply unconscionable, and it must stop, said Kirby. It must stop. What if it doesn't stop? What are you going to do, Kirby? Well, you know. The US military evacuated American personnel from the embassy in Khartoum over the weekend, and President Biden confirmed embassy operations were temporarily suspended. Before the ceasefire, Americans and country have been urged to shelter in place. Kirby said Wednesday that the US is, and I'm quoting, actively facilitating the departure of relatively small number of Americans who have indicated to us that they want to leave. How do you facilitate? They got troops. We continue to deploy US intelligence, I'm quoting, surveillance and reconnaissance assets. That means people? Unmanned assets to support land evacuation routes which Americans are using. And we're still moving naval assets within the region to provide support along the coast of and offer Port Sudan. Okay, Port Sudan, he said, and I'm quoting, American citizens are arriving in Port Sudan and we are helping to facilitate their onward travel as appropriate. That's good so far. I'm all for it. Good job. But I'm not an idiot, and I've been around the block a few times, and I've seen how the United States, get, all of a sudden it's our national interest and we have to intervene. Therefore, So let them fight with one another, let them kill one another, and then we're going to intervene when they are exhausted. And we're going to bring peace together. And while we bring peace, we're going to stay there. And the Russians' military base, naval base on the Red Sea is done. Yeah, that's a success. Like we don't know. Those generals, got at it, just because they were just retards. No, because someone, you go. Okay, well, I don't like you anymore. Well, I never liked you either, so let's go. Well, it's too easy. But what do you want? When you have a population educated like United States of America, where supposedly 1/3 of all adults have a college degree, which means we are all educated. How much we know, that's a different story. But we have 1/3 of the adults here, we have college degrees. So we must be educated. We're definitely an educated society by default, because they say so. But if you talk with someone, first question, ask him, hey, Gigi, yeah, you have a master's degree? Okay, can you tell me the population of, not the population, it's too complicated. Give me the capital of, let's say, Bangladesh. Guaranteed. Or, I don't know, give me the name of the capital of, let's say, Sudan or Namibia. Or you can even go easier, okay? Give me the capital of, let's say, Slovakia. Give him that. Or you can go to the Nordic countries, or don't go to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, because you get me lost over there too. But get to countries like that, and you're gonna find out these PhDs how much they know. I can guarantee you, direct experience. It doesn't mean I met all of them, but hey, so far I'm 100%. 100% accurate in what I'm saying. All right. From the people asked, I didn't get the answer, so I'm 100% still. So, these guys are all educated with the diplomas on their wall, like I am. Yeah, no. You do like this. You ask them questions, and that way you understand how much they know, and more importantly, how they process how much they know. Okay, that's the more important than memorizing. Memorizing is the basic of having a brain. The neurons do the connection, and you keep going, and they stay over there. That's good. The second one is, how do you put together and reach a conclusion? That's more important. Okay, that's thinking. All right, the other one is just retrieving information. Puck, 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 puck. The other one is real thinking, using it to solve a problem. That's how IQ is calculated, solving problems, not only memory. But anyway, that's why they say, well, it's culturally biased. No, it's not. No, it's not. If I ask you, how do you cross that river, and you say, well, I'm just gonna eat a kangaroo, and if I eat a kangaroo, I'm gonna cross the river, that will help me, then you're not a problem-solving individual. Your IQ is tanked, and they give you two options. You build a canoe, you swim, you look at the stars, you eat a kangaroo. Which one would be? You can select more than one option. Eating a kangaroo. Yeah, man, it's culturally biased. No, it's not. Solving problem. How do you jerk off? Left, right? What's the end result? I mean, that's a problem solving right there in itself. So I don't think it's culturally biased, this question that I just asked. Anyway, let's go back here to these idiots. So remember, this is what's going to happen. More Americans, unfortunately, we're going to perish over there. The Americans will have to intervene, and they will stay forever and ever. That's how we sacrifice for the rest of the world, and we are not appreciated. And when I'm not saying we, those guys that have, they have power over our lives, basically. Because if they start a war against, let's say, North Korea or Russia, they decide if we live or die. We can't decide if they live or die. And supposedly we vote for them, we hire them to represent us. It's upside down, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.